Hey guys, 681 Shadow, welcome to week 2 of the CPC. This week we are facing off against one of our division rivals, Aberforth, coach of the Brisbane Brelooms. I'm opting not to do a team builder for my for the first divisional matches because we do face them twice in the season at the very least. So, and plus there could be sets in our matches that we do not exactly reveal. So I won't be making a team builder for Aberforth until we face him again in, I believe, week 11. And then also there should be from this week going forward. Excuse me, my differential along with my record will be on the layout. So you'll be able to see the differential in as well as the record, while the title will only show the record of each side. So I'm just gonna briefly go over the team. So we have specially defensive Zard X to deal with his special threats. He has quite a few really good ones, like the Mew, the Chandelure, and the Raikou. Definitely really powerful mons, and Raikou would definitely outspeed Zard without being set up. Then defensive Donphan, because Donphan's a really good defensive mon, and it could probably wall hits from the Rhyperior and the Hitmontop. And then we have the Chansey. Actually, not the Chansey, Miss Ferrothorn. We have Ferrothorn to take those physical hits and to deal damage back to them with the Rocky Helmet Iron Barb set. And then we have Chansey this week. And for Chansey, it's just going to be this typical. It's a typical set for Chansey, Wish, and all that kind of fun stuff. Wish, Soft Boiled, Seismic Toss, Thunderwave. And it's just basically going to be able to try to get Thunderwaves off. I can only Thunderwave four of his mons, so hopefully that could be something that could be of use during the match. And then I have Calm Mind Manaphy with 3 attacking moves for just coverage and to be able to set up Calm Minds. And then Grand Bull is just Adamant Choice Banded, and with a bit of bulk with HP investment. So that's it for the team this week. Nothing really much. If you want to check out Aberforth, his links will be in description along with the other coaches. And so now let's get on to the battle. So I lead with the Chansey because I just want to scout, see what he wants to do. So I go for the Thunder Wave right here as he goes into the Rhyperior. But now if I would have opted for Toxic this week, that could have put me in a better spot with this Rhyperior. It may not have done as much, but it is what it is. So we switch into the Manaphy, taking the Earthquake nicely as we are max HP, max defense. So then he switches to Raikou. I set up a Calm Mind. I probably could have gone for a Skull to try to get the burn and try to whittle down whatever came in more because he has 2 water weaknesses on his team, so that probably would have been the better idea. But then I just go into the Chansey to take any hit this Raikou wants to give me. So now he's going to go back into the Rhyperior as I just go for the Seismic Toss this turn. And it doesn't do that much damage, but of course it's Seismic Toss, so it's really not going to do that much. Then I go into the Grand Bull getting the Intimidate, so his possible attack won't do that much. But then he just goes for the Stealth Rocks to get Stealth Rocks up, which would hinder Charizard. Then I just go for the Earthquake, and the Earthquake does 62%. But of course, fearing the Sludge Bomb, I switch into Chansey, and he actually goes for the Synthesis. So I could have stayed in and taken that risk, but I did not. So then here I can't hit him with Seismic Toss because he's Chandelure. And then he goes for the Trick. Now at this point, typically Chansey would not do a lot of work in the match because you can't really do anything with Chansey. But I decided not to sack it off here, even though most people would sack it off because the mons that he brought, he has 4 out of the 6 of them as special attackers, and Chansey just eats up special hits. So if I can play around with Chansey right, it could be a better match for me than if I just sacked it off. So to resume there, I just go for the Thunder Wave on the Chandelure, making it slow, and then I go into the Manaphy right here. As he goes for the Shadow Ball, the Shadow Ball does about 40%, but I get the leftovers. And now that would have been a roll to kill, so I definitely wanted to switch out back into Chansey. As he goes into the Raikou, and I can take any hit from this comfortably. So he's just going to Volt Switch. I take 13% from that. It's not going to be that much. So here I just go for the Seismic Toss. He goes into Chandelure. Probably should have Soft Boiled, but it is what it is. So they go back into Granbull, and he gets fully paralyzed, which is some hacks. But he switches out into the Mega Venusaur. I go for the Earthquake. Actually, no, I don't go for the Earthquake. I go for the Crunch. Get the defense drop. I didn't want to risk the Sludge Bomb once again, because it probably would have killed me. But he said he went for the Giga Drain, so I could have stayed in there and gotten the kill on the Venusaur due to that playing. But of course, I don't know how he plays, so I didn't want to risk it. So now I go for the Gyro Ball on the Venusaur. It does a bit less than half. So he goes in the Chandelure. I think I Gyro Ball again. No, I set up my rocks for later. So then I go back in the Granbull. He gets fully paralyzed here again. I think here he sacks off the Chandelure. Yeah, he sacks off the Chandelure right there because the rocks are up. So Chandelure's out of the way. That's all good. And he goes in this thing. Of course, I'm fearing the Sludge Bomb. I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk that thing. And then right here, he goes for the Synthesis. Like every time he goes for the Synthesis, I could have Earthquaked, which is really upsetting. But then he goes into the Raikou, and I believe I go for Soft Build right here. Yes, I go for the Soft Build, and then I have to switch out. I believe he switches into the Mew, and then I switch out into the Donphan. I believe I have knockoff. Yeah, I have knockoff on the Donphan because this Mew is going to start setting up Calm Minds, which that could have been troublesome for me. But since I had knockoff, I was able to deal with it very well. He goes for the Psyshock, which does not do that much, and I should go for the knockoff again and take out the Mew. So it's looking pretty good for me right at around this point. We're only on turn 25 though. It's actually a bit of a longer battle. But so now he goes into Venusaur. I'm definitely gonna switch out into Ferrothorn here. So he goes for the Giga Drain, which does not do that much, but he has the HP Fire, which doesn't do that much to me. That was a good it was a good bring on his part for the HP Fire. But so I'm gonna switch the Ferrothorn out into the Chansey, as he goes for the Giga Drain, which isn't gonna do that much to me, but it's gonna benefit him more because of how much HP Chansey just has. So now he's gonna go into the Hitmontop. That's not a good position I want to be in. But then here I wish into the Donphan. And here we're going to have a bit of a stall fest. This was fun to deal with in the battle. But he's going to go for High Jump Kick. It's going to crit and do a bit less than 50%, but I get my full HP back. So now he just goes for a bulk up. I'm going to make this faster until a certain point. I'll make it to the fast move for a certain point. So I did not expect Hitmontop to be able to get so bulky off of bulk up. And this is also a rest talk set, which is absolutely insane. I didn't think this was actually viable. I've never actually seen Hitmontop do this. So right here I'm just Earthquaking, hoping for a crit, but he gets lucky and keeps getting bulk ups, which is really, really bad for me in the situation. Like a crit while he was sleeping would have probably made me win the game if he didn't get High Jump Kick, which I don't think he really gets High Jump Kick while he's asleep. And I probably should have, in retrospect, I should have gotten the Ice Shard this week. I should have opted for Ice Shard on Donphan, because if I did that, Stall Fest would not have happened. However, judging my Donphan set being, I believe I had the Earthquake, the Rapid Spin. Yeah, I had the Rapid Spin right there. I had Gunk Shot. I don't know why I went for it there. I honestly don't know why I went for it there. That was just like probably like a misclick on my part. But then he could just take Earthquakes comfortably now, as he goes for the rest again. And then I'm not sure when I make the misplay. Okay, I go make the misplay here. I go into Charizard and start trying to set up Dragon Dances to counter him, but it does, of course it does not work. I try setting up just once because he's gonna wake up after this turn. I go for the flare, but it doesn't really do anything. Which this was just a really stupid play on my part, and I sacked off the Charizard. It would have been a bit hacksy if he missed, but it is what it is. So he also kills this thing because he's at +6, but the Rocky Helmet damage would have been did that to him. And then I kill it with the Manaphy. Now there, I just want to pause there. So two things. First, in retrospect, I should have switched in the Battle Hunter, the Ferrothorn earlier, as opposed to when I did, and then I could have possibly had the Charizard for late game, and it would have done better for me. But that was a silly misplay on my part. I should not have done that. But and then the second thing, the Manaphy knocking out the hitmontop right there was. We talked after the match. That was actually a roll because since I was running max bulk, so max HP, max defense on Manaphy, and only like 4 special attack investment, it was a roll, and I believe it was in his favor. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was a roll nonetheless. So it was a bit of hacks, but there are a bunch of rolls and numbers involved in Pokemon. But if we continue here, he's just going to go into the Venusaur, and this just becomes a long stall fest of us trying to keep around our Pokemon. So I'm just keep it fast at this point because it's just going to become a long fest of us trying to keep our Pokemon around. It actually amounts to being 94 turns, so it's definitely a really long battle. It definitely was a good one though, because he was telling me after the battle that he was really impressed on how I was able to play around with Chansey even after it was Choice Scarfed, because he didn't really see it to be as much of a threat now that it was Choice Scarfed. But since it was Scarfed, but since I do have quite a bit of experience with it, I was able to make it work in my favor for this matchup, which was really good. It made it a bit long because I had Chansey pivoting every 2 seconds, but it was definitely a really good thing for me. And the rocks there do not matter. I'm just gonna let it play because it's not that the matchup was a long match, and props to Aberforth for a good battle. Definitely. I feel it was of well, I'm just tripping over my words, but yeah, I'm trying to fill in the commentary for this. I don't really want to skip through so you guys can just see the whole battle, because I don't really like skipping through unless it's like, if it's like 150 turns, yeah, I'll skip through some turns. But plus we're on turn 62 already, so this is basically just this is the seemingly endless stall fest of us trying to keep all of our Mons. And now here's a bit of hacks. He gets fully paralyzed, I believe, 2 times in a row, so I'm able to get chip damage off with Ice Beam. And as I do get a crit there, which is also a bit hacksy as well. And then, yeah, because I didn't think Manaphy was worth saving, and I got poisoned, and so I'd have to switch out, so I can't really set up Calm Minds. So then, and after Manaphy goes down, we just continue this stall fest. So we're just going to keep going through the battle. It was definitely a good battle, even though there's a lot of stall in it. I definitely enjoyed the battle, and that was really good for me right there. That play was really good because even though Donphan was low, so was Granbull, and Granbull got the wish, and I think Granbull was actually lower. I want to go into Donphan because I felt like that was a better play at the time, but that's what I decided to do. But then Granbull dies to Toxic after the Earthquake fest. And then I wish with the Chansey, I switch into Donphan. Yeah, then he drags me into the Chansey, which is really, and I live on 1 HP too, which was probably really upsetting for him. That was luck on my part. But now I have to switch again because I am Scarfed. Yeah, the Scarf Chansey thing is what really made this match like really long, because it would have been a lot shorter if I just sacked it off, but I knew Chansey could do something for the team in this match, so I decided to keep it around rather than just sacking it. And I'm gonna skip turns towards the end because towards the end, I'm gonna talk about something very important before I go into like the overall into my overall end analysis of the battle. So here I'm gonna switch it to normal right here. I'm gonna switch it to normal. So as you see here, I switched Donphan out into Chansey because I thought Donphan would be able to live the Stealth Rocks, but he is not able to live the Stealth Rocks from this. So I wish here into the Donphan. Donphan dies to rocks, and then I just go in here, and instead of trying to get better differential using Seismic Toss, I just spam Soft Boiled. So, and that really ends the battle because I can't do anything else in this battle. So So that was the battle. We do lose 2-0, but it was definitely a good battle. He's another one of the coaches from the National Pokeball League, and I know that they have some really high caliber coaches. So I'm glad to have battled someone with such high caliber and to have done well. So it's definitely something to be proud of. But something I want to bring up was my set of plays at the end of the battle. So I just want to bring this up because because I was talking to the battle. I was talking about the battle with multiple with some friends that are also in the CPC, and one of them, it was Anthony Zazo, coach of the Detroit Butterfrees. He was saying after calcing the Chansey if I did a different set of plays with Chansey, I could have pulled out the win from a roll because he said if I went for the play to if I went back. Let me go back. Okay, so here, if instead of switching and wishing right here, if I soft boiled, sacked off the Donphan, came back, and then just spammed Seismic Toss, I would have been able to win by a roll, but it is not something. But it could have happened that way, could have not. But I did not go for that play because that didn't come up as an idea that could have happened. But anyways, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just it's kind of happy, kind of sad. At the end of the battle, happy because it was a good battle. It was long, but it was a good battle against someone who is very good at the competitive Pokemon game. And then kind of bad because we're 0-2, but we are not doing the worst in the league, so that's something to be slightly proud of with all the big competition. So next week for CPC, we face Will, coach of the San Antonio Sparse, and so hopefully we can bounce back that week. He is another one of our division rivals, so I will not have a team builder posted for that match either. So anyways, that's going to be the end of this week for CPC. Thank you all for watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and I will see you all next time.